devotee? Is there any scale like that? We got faith as a scale sometimes. We say, basing on the faith of him towards the Lord, then we say, Prahlad, he got so much of faith. Kunti has got a little bit more or less faith. But we can compare. So we still say faith is high, faith is a scale to say that somebody has got a good devotee or transcending devotee or moving devotee or progressing devotee or something like that. But what is the benchmark or else what is the litmus test to say that a person is a devotee? When he got the knowledge and puts that into action. I got the knowledge of not eating onion and garlic. If I just eat onion and garlic. I got the knowledge of saying don't eat meat. If I eat meat. I give a lecture on continuously saying that eating meat is so disastrous. It will keep you bounded. It will keep you lipyate. It will bind you. And if I say, Chalo Prabhuji, let's go to meal and eat some non-veg there. Did you understand the point? I'm giving you in a very bad way, but still telling you because this is something different to your devotee community. If I say, I'll go and eat meat, I'll go and eat liquor. If I start saying, Prabhuji, there is one Ekadasi called Kaisika Ekadasi. That Ekadasi tells about the Mahapapa, the 4 Mahapapas. One of the Mahapapam is drinking liquor. You shouldn't drink liquor. Liquor is so very bad. It will take you into deepest of hells. And in the night I go and drink liquor. Did you get the point? So I got the knowledge, but I don't put it into action. I give lectures continuously to all the community here, but I don't put them into action. That is what it's saying. That is more dangerous. That will take you see that experience by the person who just meditate on rituals. At least he's doing rituals. But this person is not doing rituals, but is just doing bogus. So that is more dangerous. That is what it is saying. 9th verse. So this is the verse that forms the basis for the next verses to come. So you got the point here. You got the point here. So just action, no use. Just knowledge, no use. Coupled together will make something sense. That is more important to understand. You have to, any action can be performed, no problem with it. But that has to couple with knowledge. Why we are doing it? Why should we do it? Who is the ultimate receiver of that? What when we do it something? That is to be understood. So now you got the point. What when we offer to Damodar, we know why you are offering with ghee. We know why you should be offered. Why only in the month of Damodar? Why can't we offer now? Why it says benefit is thousands of times when we do it in Kartik? Because Bali asked that boon for us in the month of Kartik, because he did in the month of Kartik that 99th yajna is stopped at the time, 100th yajna. So he said, in this month, if somebody do it, continue my yajna, then yes, give the boon to them. Because he said, you complete yajna now. What boon should you want? What boon you want? I said, no, I don't want any boon. Let the boon be given to everybody. Let everybody get the benefit. Because he is a descendant of Prahlad. He is not somebody like an ordinary person. He is a descendant of Prahlad, who is the best of devotees. So that knowledge is given to Bari Maharaj. That the receiver is not Yama who is sitting in front of you or Vayu who is sitting in front of you. It is the person who is sitting in them. That is the receiver. So if you understand that, you do yajna, havan, anything, fine. That is more important. So, like I said, this is a very short class today. One should realize that there is Brahman everywhere and also in his own self. This is the knowledge of the Brahman. The knowledge that this world is the embodiment of Brahman, which is very important to understand. The world is the embodiment of Brahman. God carries us as a body. If I take the cloth and put it on myself, this cloth takes the form of myself. Likewise, if I put some other cloth, that will take the form of like that body. In the same way, God is wearing us as a form of Paramatma in us. This body is there. For me, it is a cloth. For Paramatma, the body is the cloth. So he is moving around, sitting here in us as Paramatma, in the form of Brahman, in the form of 5 elements. So he is supporting us in the form of 5 elements outside. He is supporting us in the form of Paramatma inside. So his existence is there everywhere. That is more important to understand. So he is called Vishnu, one who pervades. So such a person does not suffer from death or decay, nor does he fall down from his status. He attains liberation from these worldly bonds and lives in the divine presence. So once you got the knowledge of Brahman, what will happen? You will go to him only. So that's what it is saying. But many are not able to attain moksha or oneness with God because they are not aware of this truth. What is the truth? That those who believe that vidya, knowledge, alone enables them to attain divinity, or those who consider that karma alone can lead them to divinity, both fall into the bottomless darkness of ignorance. It's saying bottomless darkness. Imagine how deep it is then. So that is the fate of the people who just follow on rituals or who just follow on meditation or anything without having the knowledge of that. That should be coupled together. Try to understand this. That is all about the karma yoga and jnana yoga of the chapters of Bhagavad Gita. It talks so much about it. Krishna talks about akarma, karma, and it's about vikarma. So many karmas are there. Karma is something like activity. Then he says akarma, which is not karma. Which is not karma? Knowledge. And this is vikarma. There are many types of that. You do this, and he says it's difficult to attain. You go on happy to do devotion. That's a different thing anyway. So that's what it is. That's what it is. So what's the next stepping stone? This forms the basis, which is fine. So if I just perform my duties, like what we said in the 9th verse, having the knowledge about Brahman, will that be sufficient for me for liberation? Well, again, liberation here means from birth and death cycle only. Did you get the point? Will that be sufficient? Like Upanishad clearly said, a Brahmajnani is something who understands Brahman, and you have to do the activities, Kurmaneva Karmani, you have to do the activities, and coupled together, yes, I will make sure that when I do an activity, I know what I am doing. Will that be sufficient? And I perform what I am telling, and I perform the activities of the knowledge that I got from the spiritual master. Will that be sufficient? The answer is in the next verses, which we can discuss later on.
You need to have devotion.
That will tell in the next verses. It's about devotion then. So the answer to that is devotion. The devotion has to be there, and that has to be granted by the Lord. We cannot just, if you have devotion, will that be guaranteed? There is a note there. It's not like that. I have devotion, I'll do the activity, I'll do the knowledge, I'll have the knowledge, I'll do the activity as per the scriptures, I'll do it as per the knowledge that I got, and I have so much love towards the Lord. Will that be like a bond paper that you'll get moksha? No. That's the reason he's called Mukunda. One who grants moksha. He only has to grant us. Not that we acquire it, we become eligible. We don't. See, there is one beautiful, out of the context again. So one beautiful song by one of the devotees. He said, see, did anybody ask you when you throw a Brahmastra on a crow? Nobody questioned. You know this story of Kakasura in Ramayana. Lord has to fire a Brahmastra for a small crow. Lord Rama, the valor, you have to see, of course he got very angry when Sita was bitten by the crow. So he has to fire a Brahmastra. Brahmastra is something like in the battles they'll open it. Rama has thrown the Brahmastra on a crow. See, such a simple living entity that is. Why Rama has to open the Brahmastra for that? It's like nuclear weapon on a small crow. And the devotee asked, see, if you are thinking that you have to grant me liberation, and you start looking at, or somebody may question you, who questioned you when you throw Brahmastra on the crow? Nobody questioned. So you grant me moksha. Nobody will question again. That is the culmination of the devotee towards the Lord. But that's the dearness. That's why he made the note in the poetry. He said, when nobody asked you when you throw Brahmastra on a crow, then why will somebody ask me when you grant me moksha, you give me? Again, he is begging for the Lord only. The Lord has to give you. You cannot attain it, you cannot gain it, you cannot earn it. Even though you do all these things, devotion also you cannot gain it. He has to grant it. But anyway, that's a different story. So that is how it is. So the answer will be given in the, it's very nice. The next verse will be very, very beautiful. 10th, 11th and 12th verses are very nice. And the 18th verse is very, very powerful. We will discuss later on. It will be very nice. Probably we'll take care of it in detail. So that's end the class today. If you got any questions, then we'll take questions for about how much time it is.
I have two questions.
Oh, yes, Mataji. I'm waiting for your
First
question.
question is, if Brahmajnani,
Yes.
so he sees God in everything.
Yes.
So why he differentiates between the egg as tamasic food and the other things he can eat like that? So he sees God in everything.
Yes.
Why he should differentiate that one?
Good question, Mataji. See, for example,
And the second question is, Brahmajnani sees God everywhere.
Yes.
So why he wants to attain moksha? Because there also God will be there.
Yes.
And here also he can see God in everything.
Yes.
So living there in heaven is the same, and living here in the world is also the same. He
Yes.
sees God in everything.
Yes.
So why one has to get rid of this birth cycle?
Yes.
So because everywhere it is the same.
Yes.
So I have these two questions.
Oh, very good question. We'll go to second question first. That will answer the first question anyway.
Okay.
So second question is, when he can see the presence of God everywhere, then what difference does it make if you go to the loka of God, where he resides as para, or if he is staying here, when everything is here?
So when he takes innumerous births, so he can enjoy the presence of God everywhere in
Yes.
this world. No? So why he wants to get rid of this birth cycle?
Yes, good question, Mother. See, I'll tell you an episode of one of the disciples of Ramanujacharya. His name is Parasar Bhattar. He is leaving his body, and one of the disciples of him, the Acharya, next Acharya, is Nanjiyar. So he asked him. So he was telling Nanjiyar, the disciple, to him. He was telling Parasar Bhattar is telling to the disciple, I'll go there. If I don't find the same beauty as I see in Sriranga, if I don't find the same beauty in him there, I'll dig a hole in Vaikuntha and come down and stay in Srirangam again. That's what he said. You got the point. He's saying the beauty in Srirangam is much more than what he's seeing the beauty in there. So, the objective here is, a Brahmajnani or a devotee doesn't want to stay near to the Lord in presence of him, because he finds the presence of him everywhere. So he doesn't want to get rid of birth and death cycle. The reason I told in the previous verse, the reason I have told liberation here means, just to put in the brackets, free from birth and death cycle, just to deviate from the real meaning of liberation. The real meaning of liberation is, liberation as per the Vaishnavas, not as per the Vaishnavas, as per scriptures, is that service to the Lord. Undenied service to the Lord. Unstoppable service to the Lord. If you can get the service anywhere, is fine. That's the byproduct from this birth and death. If I am here, I am limited. If I want to cook food to the Lord, I can cook. How long I can cook? As long as my hands won't pain. As long as I don't get suffocated with the smoke that it comes. But if it is in the loka of Vaikuntha, I can cook continuously, because there is no manifestation of the 5 elements there. So there is no sorrow, there is no misery, there is no what do you call it? When you cook something, you get suffocation. There is no such kind of that there. Everything is divine. So I can enjoy a lot more there. See, Namalvar is one of the Alvars. He said, even if he stays here or there, it's same for him. So for them, the Lord is seen everywhere. See, that's the point I was telling you before. Archa form, or the form in Para, or in his own Pancha Upanishadmaya form, is the same. It is we who don't understand that, and we question this. Why is that he wanted to go there or don't go? For them, it's same. Sukha Maharshi is there. He just went away because he doesn't need to know all the scriptures and Vedas, because he understood God is everywhere. So he didn't find difference between a tree or a woman, a covered woman or a naked woman. He didn't find any difference. So his presence is, he found that the presence of God is everywhere. So he doesn't want to transcend. He doesn't want to say, I want to go there. Likewise, when it comes to Jadavarat, what happened to him? He sat there, he said, what is there? Fire comes, I will burnt. Or else I will stay there only. You get the point? When the episode is, when he is leaving his body, he was in the forest, in the middle of the forest. And he was burnt by the forest fire. Supposedly he has to go from there, because he had to save his body. He said, fire, one of the elements that is already there in my body. It will unite with it. Let me die. He didn't even say that, let me die. The dying is seen by us. He says, I am eternal. And I am with God eternally. So I don't find a difference if I have this body or don't have this body. Or I am here or there. Prahlad said the same thing. It's same everywhere. He said, if I fall down, one of the element is water, and I already have it in my body, I'll just go and unite with it. He said in the serpent, he said, oh, this is the bed for my Lord, Adisesha. I'm happy to sit there. So he didn't find a difference. So a devotee will never wanted to go get rid of birth and death cycle. That is a byproduct. He doesn't want to go away. It's the same for him. Even if you give birth or stay here, best example is Hanuman. The Lord said, come back to my kingdom. He said, no need. I'm happy here. You can stay there, you can happily be with me. He said, no. I enjoy your presence in the form of Nama. I'm happy here, I'll stay here. When the Kirtan doesn't go on there, I won't come there. Because he found the presence of God, presence of Rama everywhere. He can see here or there. Both are same. So that is the answer to the second question. Did you get it? Did I answer your question?
Why we always think we have to go to the heaven then?
No, who will think? No, Mataji, it's not like that. No, devotees will never think of going to Vaikuntha or anything like that.
It's Brahmagyani is different from devotee, isn't it?
He got the knowledge of. So did you, as per the words you are saying, that you wanted to go to birth and let's say get birth in the second.
Yes.
Brahmagyani is different from devotee.
Where is it must be? Where did you find that it is?
I think she is asking in general.
In general or as per the words? In general. No, Brahmagnani is the same. Like Sukamaharshi or Prahlada, they are all Brahmagnanis only. That they understood the presence of God everywhere. So they are there. They don't want to differentiate between that loka, this loka. Because see, Mataji, once you can call it Brahmagnani based on the 5 forms. If you understand the 5 forms are the same, then you are Brahmagnani. The 5 forms that we discussed previously. That the Para form, which he stays in Vaikuntha, and Vyuha, like the 4 Chaturvyuha we call, the Sankarshana, the Prajumna, and Vasudeva. Those forms are Vibhava, Rama, Krishna, Narasimha, that forms, Vamana, or Archa form, in the form of deities, or Antaryami form, in the form of Paramatma in your body. If you see, any of the devotees who understand these 5 are the same, then they don't find any difference between going there or staying here. Why the reason they might go there is just because they will get unlimited service, uninterrupted service. That is what it is. Nothing else. If they decide to want to go there, the only reason is that they want to serve. That is the definition of liberation. That's the point I was telling you. That's the reason I want to deviate from the concept of the next class. The next class talks about the devotion and the liberation, the actual meaning of liberation. The liberation means that service to the Lord. And the 18th verse tells that how should we ask Lord for liberation. It will tell clearly there, but I don't want to tell that, but it will tell you how should ask God in terms of getting liberation. What should we ask or shouldn't we ask? There's also a question there. It will be asked, it will be discussed at that point of time. Should we ask God for liberation or not? Did you point? But Brahmagnani or devotee will never worry about going there or being here. It's the same. No, because if you are seeing a snapshot of the basic step of the next verses, so it might have got confused you, but still that is the same. They don't want to go. The presence of God is seen everywhere, and they are happy staying here or there anywhere. It's the same for them. So, your first question. What is it, Mataji?
That why he should
Discriminate between eggs and vegetarian food and
vegetarian toxic food and non-toxic food.
Okay.
And why he is not taking blessing.
First example, like I said, Jadabharat. He didn't differentiate between the body being burnt or not being burnt. He said, if I get food, I'll eat, or else I'll not eat. That is the level of Brahmagnani he is in. So, differentiate between vegetarian and not vegetarian. The first reason Krishna says is about he will set a path to the other people, as an example. If he says, for example, Janaka, he is aloof, he doesn't need to worry about anything, because when the kingdom is being burnt, he doesn't worry about it. But Krishna says, if Janaka, if they don't follow, then people who follow, who will see Janaka as a king or anybody who is as an example, they will not follow. Just to set an example to the people of the next generations, they will follow it. For example, eating vegetarian food. The reason why Acharya has to do it, they are aloof anyway. Ramanujacharya said, your Acharya is not from here, he is from Vaikuntha only. He only came to take you away. He is not from here, so they are transcended. But the reason they are doing all these practices is just to guide us, that we can follow it. That's all. If they don't follow, and we take them as an example, then we will be lost. Just because the knowledge has to be gone through the next generations, they will follow it. Not that they have to follow it. Again, the example of Bharasra Bhattar. One devotee came to him, one disciple. He said, I wanted to learn the process of doing Aradhana. He told the elaborate process of what Ramanujacharya followed. He clearly made a note of it and he did in front of him. He copied it and then he went and he started doing it. Then he came back. And after a few months he came back, and again at that time Bhattar is doing the Aradhana for his deities. And he is just doing like you take food, you do this in a very simple format, not in the elaborate format. Then the disciple went and fell on the feet of the Bhattar and said, my dear master, I got a question to you. He said, let's go and ask. He said, when you gave me the elaborate process, but why are you following only this small process? He said, that is for your standard. This is for my standard. How can you compare me and you? Did you get the point? The reason is, it's not that he is arrogant, but not arrogant. He is telling the clear division between the elevation of the faith. For him, he don't need to do it. And he has secretly seen what he is doing. And for him, because he is still in the naive, in the basic process, he has to follow all this. When you transcend to that level, then you don't need to follow. We cannot just imitate Sukha He is just naked and he is just traveling all through. We cannot imitate him. Because he didn't find any difference between having clothes on him also. Did you get the point? So differentiating is only meant for our reason. See, for example, let's say Sukha Maharshi didn't differentiate, and if he just acted like that, would we give Bhagavatam? He would have gone to the king and said, "Oh, you will die. What is there? Even if you die, you don't die. It's the same. You are the soul," and would have left. But did he go like that? He didn't go like that. He sat there for 7 days where he cannot even see. They say Sukha Maharshi will not stay in a place until you milk the cow. Even for that time also, he won't stay in the place. Like that kind of man, he stayed for 7 days and 7 nights to tell Bhagavatam to Parishit Maharaj. Can you imagine that? Such an elevated person to hold him back at one single place. The reason he has to hold back is to tell the next generation that this is the divine thing you have to learn. He can see the difference. He can still say, "Oh, you are just a soul. What will there?" It's just a compassion towards the other entities. Prahlad Maharaj is the same thing. He got the knowledge. He can just sit there. But why is he start preaching to the demons? Just a compassion. You can also learn. You can also get elevated. Ramanuja has got the mantra. He can happy to do it. He can transcend to Vaikuntha. But why did he has to come out all the way to kingdom and shout it in front of everybody that this is the mantra? You chant the mantra, you will be elevated. Even the Guru said, don't tell to the outside world. But Ramanujacharya came, stood on the top of the on the peak of the temple, and he started shouting the mantra out. Oh my dear people, this is the mantra, this is the best of the mantras, you chant this mantra, then you will go back to God. Why should he do it? Even trespassing the orders of his Guru. The Guru asked him, why did you tell this when I told not to do it? He said, you told me if I tell the mantra out, I will go to hell. But if somebody chant the mantra, they will go to God. So I am happy at the cost of them going to God, me going to hell. Why should he tell? It's just a compassion. You understand? So the differentiation is just meant to be for us only. Just to guide us. Just to give an example for us. Set an example. This is how you have to follow. When you are beginners, when you come to the point, you will enjoy it. Because we have to live our life as per the Vedic scriptures. The Vedas said so. You have to follow it. I can give you another example, which is very, very straight example. Bhishma is there. You know about Bhishma. Bhishma is so powerful and so righteous. They have to. There's a big chapter in the Mahabharata for discussing about this thing. About the dharma Bhishma told to Yudhishthira. That's a big chapter when he's on deathbed. Not everyone is happily in this happy mood on deathbed. But anyway, so Bhishma, once he's performing rites to his father. So the one of the rites is to, at the end of 1 year, you have to feed the Lord, or feed your father with the Shraddha, the karma, that you put rice balls to them, and that will be taken to them, to the Pitruloka. So what happens is, because he's so righteous, when he put the rice ball, we put 3 rice balls. Somebody put some varieties, but put 3 rice balls, and that is like a Pinda Pradhanam to the Pitru Devatas, to your ancestors who died. They will have this food. Every 1 year we do it. So when he put the ball there, the father's hand, who passed away and who is in heaven, rises from the river to take the ball. Because he's so righteous. What should we do? What do you think he should be doing at the time?